What's going on, guys? I hope you're all well. In today's video I'll be reviewing the Philips Hue Play Light Bar, and I'll also be showing you how they can be used with Hue Sync for a more complete lighting setup. But first, let's get it unboxed. Looking at the info at the back of the box, you will need a Hue bridge to control the lights. If you're investing in these and don't already have a Hue bridge, you can pick one up for about $60 or £50. The Play Bar supports 16 million colours, but of course in practical terms you won't be able to distinguish between all of the possible hues and shades. The max light output is 6.6 watts, so they can be fairly bright at 100%. As of recording this video on the 4th of March 2021, the Light Bar double pack is priced at around £100 in the UK or $150 in the US. On Amazon.com you can get 2 Play Light Bars and a Hue bridge for $150, so you'd be saving some money there. Opening up the box, you've got some simplified details on how you can get the Play Bar set up. You'll need the bridge like I mentioned, and in addition to that you need both the regular Hue app as well as the Hue Sync app in order to sync the lights with your content. The Hue Sync box is another piece of hardware you'll need to complete the experience. I'll link a video in the description that details how to set up Hue Sync if you're interested. Here's the simplified details as a separate slip and the quick start guide showing you how to install or mount the Play Bars in different orientations. You can either have it standing horizontally or vertically. Since I'll be sticking them to the back of the TV, I'll be going for the horizontal orientation. Next up are the Play Bars. The front has a semi-frosted white finish, I want to say, which I imagine helps with light diffusion. It weighs just over 400 grams and depth wise is just over 4 centimeters or 40 millimeters. If you've got your TV wall mounted and it's pretty flush to the wall, you will need to move it forward a little bit in order to accommodate the lights. At the back of each Play Bar you have 2 threads for the provided mounts, allowing a vertical or horizontal install depending on your preference. The cable is 2 meters long, which should be sufficient for most use cases. It certainly was for me. Then we have the first type of mount. These will allow you to stand the Play Bars on a flat surface, or if you're putting them behind the TV or monitor, you can have the light facing down, up, to the left or to the right. This is the plug adapter for the US, or it might be for Europe, I'm not entirely sure. These are the other mounts. You can mount your Play Bars such that they are facing upwards when placed on a table or other flat surface. Alternatively, you can use the provided 3M tape to stick these to the back of your TV or monitor and have the light reflect off the wall. The power adapter for the plug. You can slot in the plug attachment like so. The top of the power adapter has 3 ports, so you can connect up to 3 light bars, and the final piece includes the 3M tape to stick the Play Bars to any surface and the provided screws and Allen key for attaching the mounts to the lights. To start off the installation, I plugged in the power adapter just so it's less of a hassle later on. Because I want to install the Play Bars at the bottom edge of the TV facing downwards, I'm using the angled mount with the light placed horizontally. As I just showed, you'll need the provided Allen key and screw to get the light attached to the mount. Just as an example, you can also mount the light vertically like this if you just want to have it stood up on your media unit. Once I was done messing with the mounts, I plugged in the lights so I could get them connected to my Hue bridge. Open up the Hue app, go into your settings, light setup, press add light and then search. The 2 lights should get detected fairly quickly. Once connected, the ALEXA app will notify you that they've been added, ready to be incorporated into your routines. At this point you might want to rename them to be more descriptive. Because I have Hue Sync set up already and an entertainment zone ready, I simply added both of the lights to my living room entertainment area. On the next screen it will visualize your entertainment area so you can virtually position the Play Bars. And now is where the fun begins. I pulled my TV forward as I would be sticking the lights to the back of the TV facing downwards. I made sure the back of the TV was dust free before installing, as I don't want the lights to prematurely fall off. I then added the circular 3M tape to the bottom of the mount, and I also added foam pads to the top of the play bar, both to prevent potential damage to the play bar and to the acoustic wall panels behind. These foam pads are designed to go under furniture to protect your floors, but they work well in this context. I then remove the plastic off the 3M tape and install the light as straight as possible using a spirit level. I did have to adjust it a little bit, so it's a good idea at this point to not fully press down on the mount until you know it's level. I then went ahead and installed the other play bar, again removed the plastic off the 3M tape. This time I went about the install a little differently just to make life a little easier for myself. I grabbed the bubble level and stuck it onto the light with some masking tape, just so I didn't have to check if the light is level after the fact. I then proceeded to stick the second light to the back of the TV, keeping an eye on the spirit level. This allowed me to install the light in one fell swoop, and it also negated the need to check if the light was level after the install. Plus, no readjustment was required either. Finally, I moved the TV back into position, and you can see in the footage the foam pads are doing a nice job of protecting both the lights and the acoustic panels. Here's what the lights look like when they're static and at 75% brightness. And here's what they look like with content synced. I then ran an experiment using a test video on YouTube using both the moderate and extreme intensity in the Hue Sync app with the brightness cranked to 100%. Since I was testing in the daytime. At night I usually have the brightness set to 75% or below, as it can be overwhelming. You can see in the footage that there is a void at the bottom middle. I knew this would be a problem going in, which is why I ordered an extension, which is just another name for a single play bar. I used the same bubble level method I showed earlier to get this installed at the bottom middle of the TV. The TV does have an indent in the middle, so this install was slightly easier. And here is what it looks like with all three of the play light bars at the bottom of the TV. This is a static shot with the brightness set to 100% just to show you what it looks like in the dark. I did the same test at 75, 50 and 25% brightness respectively. I prefer the brightness in the 50 to 75% range, as it's not too distracting and it's not underwhelming either. I don't have my PS5 connected with my Hue Sync box, as it doesn't support 4K at 120 FPS, but I have done a Hue Sync test with the PS5, which I'll link in the card above. Streaming content and having the lights react to it is an amazing experience. It definitely adds to the immersiveness, and the rest of my family agrees. Now I know it's not for everyone, but if you just want some static bias lighting, all you need to do is remove the lights from the relevant entertainment area in the Philips Hue app, and you can either use the Amazon Assistant to set the lights to a static color or via the app itself. If you're driving content off a device not connected to your Hue Sync box, then you won't need to remove the lights from the entertainment area, and you can simply set the lights to whatever color combination you want through the color wheel or by creating scenes in the Hue app. The lights can be displayed at 4 different intensity levels. All this means is how quickly the colors change from one to the next. The lowest intensity will be a gradual change in color, and the highest intensity will be an instant change. The 4 intensities are subtle, moderate, high and extreme. In the footage I had to lock the exposure so you could see both what's on the TV as well as the lights. In reality, the lights are a bit more diffused and the gaps between the lights are not nearly as prominent. Overall, I'm really happy with how the play bars complete the lighting behind the TV and fill the void at the bottom. Having said that, I wish the mounts provided a way to position the lights at a 45-degree angle just like the Hue Gradient Lightstrips, so that the lighting is a little more even. Currently you can tell there are 3 light sources, and I feel that if they were angled at 45 degrees, reflecting light off the wall, it'd be less noticeable. Not a deal breaker by any means, but it's something that's easily fixable in the next version or even as a separate add-on. Now you wouldn't have this problem if the Hue Gradient Lightstrip covered the complete perimeter of the TV. You win some and you lose some, I guess. In terms of cost, they are pretty expensive, coming in at over $50 per light. However, if you're heavily invested in the Philips Hue ecosystem like myself and you're extremely happy with the performance and reliability, it is definitely worth it in the long term. I've had Hue lights around my home for nearly 2 years now with little to no reliability problems, touch wood, so I won't hesitate in recommending the Play Light Bars. Thanks everyone for watching. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be appreciated. Please consider subscribing if you want more techie content like this. I'm open to covering any tech item out there, so suggestions are welcome in the comments. I'll see you in the next one.